Okay, this is Vincent. This is how I cook my my fish. I put a bunch of olive oil all over this really good, and go ahead and turn this on and get that going. There's more olive oil that I use. I ran out. I keep it in here. I'm going to show you the seasoning that I use. My wife says I make the best fish, and let me show you really quickly. I get this. It's not the best fish in the world, but it's not bad. I get this from Walmart. It's a huge bag, and they're pretty good. They're not bad. You know, it's not the $15 huge fish you can buy, but I'll do a video on those too. I just want to show you how I make my delicious fish. Those of you that are seen my video on how to lose belly fat, how I lost belly fat, how I went in 2 months, went from 245 to 219, and kind of stuck at 219. I'm doing a lot of working out too, so a lot of it's turning into weight muscle. So I may find out that by the time I get to my goal, when I can see my abs versus the flat stomach, when my stomach's completely fat, then I'll see my true body weight, which will probably be around 190 or 200. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. It's been years. So enough talk. Let's go ahead, and what I like to put is a little bit onion powder. Now, before I do that, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Do this over the sink so I get all those extra oils and juices out, and put it. You want to try to use a big pan, and I've got this here. Now, I don't want to put too much of that on there. I want to flip it and do the same when I'm ready. I got those little nasty there. I need to wash these off. I usually don't have my hands like this, dirty like this, but garlic powder, a little bit of garlic powder. Right. Shake that up there. Alright, so a little bit of garlic powder. That onion taste to it. And a little bit of this. This is seafood seasoning. It's got no iodine in it, which when people that are allergic to seafood are allergic to the iodine a lot of times, not always. It's like such as like shellfish, crab meat or whatever, but this has none of that in there, so you're safe with this. I wouldn't put too much on this because I'm going to be adding something on there called what's that called again, honey? Sazon. Hard time pronouncing it, but got another one here. Give me a second. No. Now I'm going to add more to this because I want to always keep that cooking in there because I don't want to overburn the fish. But hope you didn't see that. Anyways, good thing you're still in the package. I'm opening this other fish here. Come on. Open the door. Alright, I've already washed my hands. You don't need to see this at third one here because what's happening here is what's happening over here. Or fourth one, my bad. So, anyways, wash my hands again. Where's that spatula that I use? Now, I like to use the big pan because it's hard to do them in a small pan. And what happens is, be careful, you don't want to splash it on you like I just did. What happens is your fish will fall apart. You don't want your fish falling apart. So I'm just doing this so I can get my, see how that piece came off? I'm just doing this just so I can get my seasoning on there before it starts getting too heated. I'm gonna put a lid over this because I don't want to dry it out. I don't want it to, you know, get too dry. But I'm gonna cook it to a crisp. Now, you don't want to overdo it on this because it can be too strong, especially putting Sazón on it. So you don't want to do too much of that either. Okay. Yeah. So we only have one package of Sazón, so I need actually 2. So that's fine. I just won't go. I don't really need it, but I liked it. So yeah, hon. Oh, I turned that down because I wanted to put everything on there and I didn't want to overdo it. But yeah, once you get it, I started out hot at first. Of course, I'm messing around doing this video. And when I start sizzling a little bit, once it starts to, you know, you can hear that sizzling, I turn it down to like 3 or 4. Here's my notch right there. You can't really see it, I don't think. I turn it down to like 3 or 4, sometimes 2, because you want to cook this slow. And it'll still cook fast, but you want to cook it slow so you can walk away, watch TV for 10-15 minutes, and come back and check on it and know that it's not going to be burnt. So get my Sazón. It's going to make it kind of yellowy, or I'm sorry, orangey. And also, if you got some lemon to put on there, that would really help it a little bit. So I actually, you know what, I actually can get away with doing just one because I did put a lot of extra seasoning on it that I don't usually put on. So we're going to leave this aside here so I can do the back sides of these when I'm ready to flip them. So just always want to keep everything oiled up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add some oil to this. Alright, so the time is actually, looks like it's 1:05. It's 1:05. So it's about when I started this, yeah, about 1 o'clock-ish. So, goodness. And as you know, I did start these late, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this down to 2 or 2.5. And I always want to keep, if you notice, I mean, I can cook this meal, I can do like 2-3 things at once while I'm cooking this meal. It's just getting it going like I am now. So I always want to put a little bit, excuse me, I want to put a little bit more on the edges because I don't want them to burn or overcook. I want it to be crispy. This will give it that fried effect on the edges. Okay, just kind of make sure you have that on there. And of course, for a lid, I like these smaller lids that kind of fit inside. If you happen to fit the edge, that's pretty good. Or if you have one, just goes on. All right, so actually, I never did get a proper chance to. Can't believe I just did that. Grab the Sazón thinking it was garbage, not thinking. Leave the Sazón alone. Don't touch my Sazón. Don't touch it. Now that it's all over the floor. You know, I'm no average professional, as you can tell. never did get a chance to flip that. Alright. Now, never did put this on, a little bit of that on there. And I never got to put a little bit of this on there. It'd be really light on this stuff, folks, because it can be too strong. A little bit of Zazone, what's left of it. Okay. Now I'm going to walk away from this because I can see that the edges aren't crisp yet and there's plenty of oil there. I don't really want too much water to, so I'm going to double check the. Alright, so I'm going to let that set there for a while. It's olive oil, so it's not that bad for you compared to the other oils. So I'm going to walk away from this for about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes or whatever. It is 5:08. I'm going to walk away from the crime scene. It's 5:08, 5:09. So of course I'm going to edit the time. So, and like to you, it's going to be 2 seconds. But I'll tell you the time then. A little late throwing this other piece in, but I gotta eat this stuff up, and there's plenty of room for it over here, so. This one I'm eating, that'll still be cooking. So, flip this smaller piece over. There we go. See how that's starting to look cooked? Starting to brown. I kind of flipped it a little too early. You can tell because a piece flew off. You don't want any pieces flying off. Alrighty then, I spilled some of that Sazone and I still managed to have enough, which is probably good because it probably would have been too strong with the other seasons I put on there, so should have the perfect amount on there. My wife will let you know how good they came out. You know, you saw me take this off earlier and shake the water off in there. I don't recommend doing that. I don't know why I did that, but sometimes when you mix water with, especially with different kinds of cooking grease and oil, it can really pop really loud and burn you and stuff like that. So I don't recommend that. Like I said, garlic powder, onion powder, seafood seasoning, Sazone. Go really light on this stuff. You might want to go lighter than I did. I'll just shake that water off there in the sink. Okay, now see how it's getting crispy on the edges? That's what you want. That's why you have to make sure there's enough oil there on the edges cooking it. Otherwise it'll burn and stick to the pan. You don't want that. And I only recommend doing this with olive oil. Maybe there's some other oils that's wanting to fall apart, so that's not quite ready yet. So I'm going to leave that alone for right now. My famous words. Sometimes it's better to grab it by the bigger piece. Maybe I can do it that way. There we go. Alright, so with these pieces, it doesn't matter if they break apart because it's technically like two pieces in one, but you know, kind of overly flipping it more than I have to. So I actually want to turn this around because it's not in the oil, not really getting cooked like I want it to. So I want that side to cook a little bit more. This one here is pretty much almost done. They're really not cooking exactly like I'm used to them cooking, so. And you know what? You can cook them a little bit faster if it's going a little too slow. Like in this case, I could obviously turn it up to 3.5 instead of a 2.5. It's going a little slower than I'm used to, so maybe I overestimated on how slow I should have cooked this. I do it every night, just about every other night. You know, we eat a lot of fish, so because I'm trying to stay away from meat, most of the meat, some chicken, some beef. Every now and then, you know, some good hamburger, you know, after a good workout for the protein and kind of rebuild my carbs a little bit because you need carbs for energy when you're working out. You need some kind of carbohydrates. It's just staying away from the sugars because sugar spikes your insulin and pulls your body out of ketosis mode, which deactivates fat burning hormones. So you're no longer burning fat, you're just burning sugar when you're working out. So it's not always in the cholesterol, or sorry, the calories and the carbohydrates. Okay, you do want a low carb diet, plant-based diet, but you do need some carbs. You know, if you're doing a lot of workouts, you know what I'm saying? You're doing heavy weights and stuff like that. Just trying to lose a lot of weight and working out at the same time can be a strain on your heart and on your mind. So I'll do more videos talking more about that soon. There you go, it's sizzling like a little bit more like I like it. And I like this to keep the steam in there because it keeps it from drying out too much, I think. And it cooks it, you know, like a microwave, like an oven. It cooks a little bit faster too. Maybe bring it down to the 3 a little bit. I got that one bag too that I was telling you about, but I also got this other bag. Of course, you know, the first bag was tilapia. This bag is tilapia as well. This is another kind of Walmart brand. It tastes a little bit better, but doesn't fall apart as much. I'll have to show you these, and of course I'll do more videos on the more expensive, on how to cook the more expensive fish and stuff like that. In the mornings when I wake up, my NutriBullet RX, me and my wife, we take a small, tiny handful of cilantro with a bunch of spinach, and we fill that spinach up a good almost halfway with cilantro in it, and sometimes 2 apples, and definitely 2 bananas. Blend that in there. Blend that in here. And let me tell you, it's for those that have fibromyalgia. You want that recipe because it will reduce inflammation, make your blood a little thinner if you have high blood pressure, and it detoxes your body too, big time. It's definitely a good detoxer, and incredible energy. It's just amazing. I love it. I take that every day. And in the morning, and for lunch I do like 4 eggs. Eggs are a lot more healthier than what they say, especially the yolk. A lot of good stuff in there. And there's a doctor named Dr. Bergs. You can check him out. He talks about it. He titles it "Eggs are bad for you," just to get people's attention. But when you watch the video, he shows you otherwise. So yeah, Dr. Bergs, B-E-R-G, maybe with an S at the end. Bergs or Berg? Heck, I don't know. I don't remember. But you'll find it on YouTube. So yeah. So it is 1:28 now. It is now 1:28. It's a good 15-20 minutes away from when I started. So these are getting about where I want them to be, obviously. That was kind of sticking there to the bottom, so it was good that I flipped it. Of course, this puts a little bit of a demand on your oil there, but I do not want that oil to dry up or burn up. But I got a little too much in there for some reason. You may notice the need not for the extra oil, whereas I might be a little stubborn today. So as long as it ain't sticking to the bottom and you're getting that bubble around the whole edge there to cook that edge without sticking. And you can slip this underneath there easier. Oh, see that? Perfect timing. See how brown that is? That's what you want right there. And it's really moist inside too. It's not going to be dry. Look at that. Now that's there how you do it, Sean. That's what I'm talking about right there. Probably could have did that one a little bit more. Look at that. I'm pretty much ready. After I brown the other side the same, we're done. Okay. Less than, I say about 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know. I just, you probably could cook it faster, but you don't want it to cook the edges too long and then the center still be kind of too soft. Well, I don't know. Alright, so that's what I get for flipping it before the time. And see if of course if you flip it, that fourth one, one, two, three, four, that fifth one I put in there really last, and of course I'm not paying attention. If you flip them too soon, they'll end up looking like that. You'll end up breaking it, which is fine. You can still cook it and smash, push it together, and it'll, kind of push it up tight together, you know what I mean? And as it cooks, it'll fry together. But it's all good. It's fish, it's not that complicated. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down because I'm gonna walk away for a minute and I don't want to overdo it. Alrighty then, these babies are now ready, okay? Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. My wife will let you know how good they taste too. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta put this all together.
Yeah.
We gotta mush it all together. You know
What is that you're putting on there? Ranch dressing?
Avocado ranch.
Let me see. Avocado ranch. The cameras are. What do you what's that gauze stuff? Green gauze stuff you put on
Green
before?
goddess.
Oh, you put that on there sometimes?
Yep.
Okay. Now, how are you planning on eating the fish? Just the fish?
Mm-hmm.
You're not put on no ketchup, no tartar sauce, just plain?
Yeah, just plain.
You want to take a bite of that so you can let us know how that tastes? Get a piece of that off.
How much did you cook this? Oh wow, it's good.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's real good.
Try it again. Try it again. She was picking on me at first. Go ahead.
Mmm. Very good. I'm getting it all over, but
Eat another big piece, because the way you make it, the way you stab into it, like it's cheap or something.
you're gonna have me eating all my fish. It's the way you cooked it. It's just
Show us. Pull that forward. Put that in front of the camera. That looks good, don't it, guys? Eat it. She don't want to be on camera.
all right.
All right, we're out of here.
Thank you. It's good.
In other words,
Very yummy.
Now get out of here. You bother me. That's what she's trying to say.
You got.
Blessed Lord. Blessed me, Lord. Amen. Thank you, Lord, for this meal. Yeah, I'm a Christian. Alright. This dog out the way. You heard her opinion. And you hear my opinion now. Oh, you want a bite? Here, let me get you a piece. It's a little bit hard. It's a little bit tougher on the outside than normal, huh? But it's still pretty good. That's the way I like it, right? Oh, it's horrible. Just kidding. Not pretty good. Not bad for Walmart. How much we pay for that bag?
I don't remember.
It was like $8, $10, something like that. Pretty big bag. It lasts a long time too. Oh my goodness. Might have cooked it about a little bit longer than usual, but and it's good and it's not dry either. If I would have cooked it probably like a little bit, probably 5 or 8 minutes too much longer to try to get that extra crunch, I might have overcooked it. You know what I mean? You think so? Maybe it might have been a little too dry.
Well, if you would have kept cooking it, probably.
Yeah. So you don't want to overdo it, guys. I could put a little bit of barbecue sauce on it sometimes. She says it ruins it. I think too much can ruin it. Tartar sauce is pretty good. And didn't we make a sauce that's kind of like tartar sauce? What was that sauce we made? That wasn't the avocado, was it?
I don't remember now what we put in it.
Well, we're going to be making a lot more videos here and there. Stuff we've learned over the years. And Bonnie's going to be, my wife Bonnie here, she's going to be doing a lot more videos too. Look at that nice crunchy piece right there. Oh my goodness, you know that's going to be good. Oh my God. That's good. You hear that crunch? And it's not a burnt crunch either. It's the way you want it.
Fair. We don't put that on there, huh?
I want to try a little ranch on there. Oh wow. That helps. He doesn't need any help, but it brings out the fish flavor. Wow. Why does it bring out the fish flavor? Can you try it with a little fish? Odd fish. Can you dip it with a little bit of this?
I have it.
Here,
I have it already on there.
Put it on there and eat it. Tell me you don't bring out the fish taste more.
Mm-hmm.
It does, don't it? Okay. I had that feeling before. I think it's the avocado in it or something. I don't know. Yes, guys, like and subscribe, and definitely I'm taking my time to do these videos because I'm busy with a lot of things and I'm working out. And I don't want to do too many videos working out, those of you that watch my workout videos, because I like to do videos after, you know, a lot of results. But I still do a little bit of videos here now because this way you can see what I look like now and what I'm eating now, and then later on down the line, compared to my first video, you'll see a difference in what I'm eating. So, like and subscribe.